Barbara?
Good evening. I'd like to open the July 26th Newton Planning Board meeting and ask to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is a continuation of the 125 Development New Hampshire Corp of Plaistow, New Hampshire's request for a public hearing for a 4-building condominium site plan off of South Main Street in Newton, New Hampshire. The property is referenced as tax map 14, block 1, lot 27-3. The developer has requested continuance to August 23rd, 2022. And if I could have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
I'll second.
Mr. Doggett, you call the roll?
Would you like Mr. Zott?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I will make Mr. Zott a voting member in place of
Mr. Moran.
And I have a question
Yes,
with regards to this. Looking at last meeting's minutes,
I'm sorry.
We were at day 63 of a 65-day clock.
Well, we didn't get there yet. We didn't get to the minutes yet.
No, but this refers to us
Oh, yes.
doing an extension
Yes,
to
we're,
this.
okay, so, yes, we're on the
Can
clock.
we do that?
But since the applicant asks for the continuance, then that means they've given their permission to go longer than the clock. Is that not correct?
Yes, that is correct. The applicant has the right to ask for the continuance. You no longer can just continue it without their request. The only thing the planning board can do is either grant the continuance or make a decision on the application. Those are the two actions you can make at this point.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, thank you for your question. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Mr. Doggett, will you call the roll, please?
Ms. White?
Aye.
Ms. Collier?
Aye.
Mr. Guide?
Aye.
Mr. Zott?
Aye.
Mr. Lavoy?
Aye.
Mr. Piper?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Thank you. Also, it's been 2 months since the last public hearing due to continuations, so I would like to make a motion for the board to send out non-certified abutters notices to be charged to the applicant's NPREA account.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Mr. Doggett, will you call the roll?
Ms. White?
Aye.
Ms. Collier?
Aye.
Mr. Guide?
Aye.
Mr. Zott?
Aye.
Mr. Lavoy?
Aye.
Mr. Piper?
Aye. Also, the applicant's NPREA fund requires additional funds, and because they need to top off their NPREA, and at the last meeting when they were here, I believe that they were asked to relay that message to the applicant. I think the applicant's representative who was here was asked to relay that message, and we have not received any funds to top off the NPREA. So
Do you want a motion to send them a letter?
yes,
I'll make a motion to send them a letter to deposit $2,000 into their NPREA account.
thank you.
I'll second that.
Good. Okay. Tell me when you're ready, Mr. Doggett.
Ms. White?
Aye.
Mr. Lavoy?
Aye.
Mr. Piper?
Aye.
Ms. Collier?
Aye.
Mr. Guide?
Aye.
Mr. Zott?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Second item on the agenda is Joshua Leclerc requests a public hearing for a non-retail home-based business, plumbing and heating, at 127 North Main Street, Newton, New Hampshire. The property is referenced as tax map 4, block 6, lot 7. Mr. Leclerc, I see you're here. Would you like to explain your application to the board, please?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Joshua Leclerc. We've recently filed with the state to become an LLC, Plumbing and Heating LLC. They've approved it. Jim helped me fill out all the paperwork so that we can run the business out of our home on 127 North Main Street. here in Newton. Basically, it's a plumbing and heating service business. There will be nobody coming to the house. It's basically me and my truck, and I'm going to be servicing, people's boilers and doing plumbing work at people's homes.
Okay. I see that you've requested 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. What we normally do is encourage people to ask for as many hours as they think they might have to work, and you could work any time in between that, because you may have an emergency on the weekend that you might need to do. So you might want to consider like 8 to 5 Monday through Sunday or something, and we can always change that on the application if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay?
Mr. Leclerc filled out the previous home-based business. He would now be his project is now suitable to be using the non-retail one.
Yes.
Which does not list hours, because since you're not having retail space, people are not visiting your home, there's no retail hours. So
Even better.
Okay.
that would change, because he could get called at 10 o'clock at night, somebody's pipe burst.
I
You don't
forgot
want-
we
You don't want
changed
somebody
the
being able to
application,
complain,
yeah.
going, yes, I saw
Right.
the vehicle leave.
Okay, thank you for reminding me that.
I do have that right in front of me. There is a little box that does say hours of operation here.
Okay, that will disappear.
But, okay.
Because that's one of the big differences between the two types of home-based businesses.
Right.
Yep.
One, your hours are set by you as you can, and the other is retail hours when you're open for business for the public to come in.
Right.
Okay.
So I see that you've met all of these conditions that are on the back of here. So I did want to ask you something, though. Do you use acetylene in your plumbing at all?
I do have an acetylene torch, yes.
Okay. Is that something, I don't know how you store that?
Yep. So that will be stored in my work van, and there is a cradle for it that's welded to the shelving that is attached to the van.
Okay.
It stays there unless I'm using it on a job.
Okay.
It doesn't come into my home. It doesn't come into the garage. It pretty much stays in the van, or I take it into a customer's home when I'm using
Okay.
it.
That's the only question I had. Does anybody else on the board have a question?
I'm curious why you're applying for this at this time, because you're already doing what you said you're doing.
Can I
right?
explain it to you?
Please.
Okay. Because for someone to have a home-based business, whether it's non-retail or not, allows them to be able to register their work vehicle with the town clerk downstairs. But if they don't have permission for their home-based business, whether it's non-retail or retail, they are not allowed to register their business vehicle here.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay?
Plus, I really want to put a sign out front.
Okay.
That is a joke, right?
There you go. There you go.
That's a
And I
whole
believe
nother
it's-
Making
smoke.
sure before
Yeah.
we approve this.
And it's 2 foot square is allowed, so that's fine.
I was just gonna say, just follow the rules.
Okay. So would someone like to make a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve his,
Barb,
We have to take
you have to take
jurisdiction.
jurisdiction first. You haven't done that.
make a motion to take jurisdiction.
Seconded.
Mr. Doggett? Call
No,
the roll.
I'm looking to see, okay.
Wasn't me. I'm sorry.
With Mr. Zott.
Ms. White,
Aye.
Ms. Collier,
Aye.
Mr. Guide,
Aye.
Mr. Zott,
Aye.
Mr. Lavoy,
Aye.
Mr. Piper.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Great. Thank you.
Thank
Good.
you all.
You're good.
All right. Well, if
Thank you. Welcome to town.
Thank you.
We haven't
Yeah,
approved, we haven't
yeah.
approved this
Oh,
business.
that's right. I'm sorry. We have to
Make a
approve you
motion to
first.
approve.
Sorry. That was
Second.
Okay.
Guys, you gotta slow down just for a second. You need
Sure.
to open a public hearing. You haven't done that. I know, there's not a lot of public, but
I thought I did when I
no,
said,
you took jurisdiction.
no, I opened the public hearing when,
Or you need to allow for public comment that want to comment on the
I'm sorry.
application.
Okay, I'll open for public comment. Does anybody have public comment? No. Okay, thank you. Okay,
And now can I make a motion to approve this
Yes.
application? Okay.
Second.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's with the standard boilerplate?
yes,
Okay. Does anybody want me to read them?
no.
Okay.
Well, I don't think we need to.
Why don't you just read them for Mr. Leclerc's?
I was just going to say that.
Read it for him so he knows.
Oh,
what they are.
okay. The only condition precedent is to obtain all local state land use permits. No outdoor storage of business-related materials. All business shall take place within the dwelling or off-site, and hours of operation shall not detract from the quality of the neighborhood.
Sounds good, I understand.
Okay. All right, so I think we have a motion and a second. You call the roll?
Ms. White,
Aye.
Mr. Lavoy,
Aye.
Mr. Piper,
Aye.
Ms. Collier,
Aye.
Mr. Guide,
Aye.
Mr. Zott.
Aye.
Great. Okay, now I'll say
Okay.
welcome.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good luck, man.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. So do I give this to you? Who do I give this to? And then, maybe White.
Yeah,
Joe,
yeah,
And then just check that one. And,
I'll do that.
okay, all right, great, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the reminders. It's been a while since I've been here.
Yeah, nice signature.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of 6:28. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to accept. Second.
By the way, it's the minutes of 7:12.
No, it's not. It says June 28th on it.
It says 6:28.
We didn't have a meeting on 7/12.
That's right.
That's right, sorry. My notes are wrong.
We have a motion and a second.
Who moved and who seconded?
I made the motion. Annie,
Yeah, and
Jordan,
Jordan. Ms. White,
aye.
Ms. Collier,
aye.
Mr. Guide,
Aye.
Mr. Zott.
We had no discussion on the minutes, did we?
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I'll approve them. That's okay. Just little questions.
Mr. Lavoy,
Aye.
Mr. Piper.
Aye.
okay. Do you have a correction? Or a change?
No, I just figured out what it was. We're good.
We're good? All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay. All right, next on the event agenda is approval of the NPREA Manifests. There's a,
Two of them.
we have a NPREA expense manifest in the amount of $1,936.98. May I have a motion to approve?
I so move. Second.
Ms. White,
Aye.
Ms. Collier,
Aye.
Mr. Guide,
Aye.
Mr. Zott,
Aye.
Mr. Lavoy,
Aye.
Mr. Piper.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Thank you. And we have a second NPREA manifest in the amount of $225.70.
Move to approve.
Second.
Ms. White,
Aye.
Ms. Collier,
Aye.
Mr. Guide,
Aye.
Mr. Zott,
Aye.
Mr. Lavoy,
Aye.
Mr. Piper.
Aye.
Okay. I don't have anything. Do you have something, Jen?
Just one really brief thing. There is a land use board webinar occurring on August 10th that deals with a couple of things, but the primary one is the change to state law that basically requires boards to submit finding of fact as part of their notice of decision. you guys do that, particularly if there was to be a denial, but it has some minor tweaks. If you're able to attend, I believe Jim sent it out, but if not, I can forward it as well. If you're able to attend the webinar, it's really good knowledge, and there's a few other tidbits of additional changes that have occurred in the legislature this past couple of months. So,
Is it going to be recorded?
it typically is, yes.
Watch the recording,
Okay,
but I can't make that day.
All right, so
If you
and it's
remember,
only an hour as well. Sorry, Jim.
Okay.
last week I sent everybody, it's basically a synopsis from the NHMA on the changes. They'll be going, needless to say, into much more detail. As you saw in that, I had put some comments on the side.
Yeah.
Certain ones were already covered on, certain ones are more for the courts, and some of them the board really needs to give some consideration to.
Okay.
okay,
Look more closely at that.
sounds good.
It was a good job, Jim.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything? No, I guess just going to be a short meeting then.
Do
Okay.
you want to say anything, Mark, about where we are with?
Yeah. So we're just putting the final touches on sort of the land use chapter for the master plan. I think what we need to just really nail down is the department demands for the next 5 years in terms of what they need. And we have some follow-ups that I need to do in terms of getting just more information and more specifics around certain things. But that should hopefully help put a little bit more framework around each of the department's needs. I'll bake that in. And then we should be having that for review for the planning board, hopefully by the end of the summer.
Okay, great.
Could I make one note?
Yeah.
One of the things that we did discuss is how the planning board basically has no authority over any of these departments or anybody to give us any information, as you've run into in the past.
Yes.
And as a result, the Board of Selectmen have told us that they would be very happy to work with us and give us support. So what we thought is that we would ask the board to have, when they do their budget reviews, to have each of the departments come in and present and ask questions and answers and flesh out their CIP for the next 5 years, kind of
Sounds good.
what's going to be funded,
Yeah.
how it's going to be funded. We're very fortunate that
Right.
our board is willing to kind of help make that happen.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to try and be at those meetings and
Good.
ask out questions and stuff. So hopefully we will really have a CIP
That'd be good.
for the public that's a capital improvement plan.
Right. Great.
So that's it.
Thank you for all your work on that you've done so far. And I know that there's still more coming, so. Okay, if there's nothing else, I will close the meeting at 7:22.
Be good.